Hi guys, and welcome to Comics and Chill. And today we got kind of a goofy one for you. We're looking at one of my favorite books from the Amalgam Comics line that Marvel and DC did during the mid-90s. And if you do not know what Amalgam Comics is, look it up, but a brief overview of that is there was a storyline which pitted DC and Marvel heroes against each other. And the Marvel and DC universes ended up colliding and merging together, and you were left with amalgamations of Marvel and DC characters. Here we're looking at Super Soldier, which is Captain America mixed with Superman, and you've got Dark Claw, which is Wolverine mixed with Batman. And they did this with tons and tons of characters, and it's really interesting to see some of the combinations. Some of them are ridiculous, some of them are really fun. And they had some great people working on them too, like Super Soldier had Mark Waid and Dave Gibbons. Dark Claw had Larry Hama writing. But today we are looking at Spider-Boy Team Up by Roger Stern, Carl Kiesel, and one of my favourite artists, José Ladrönn. And this was some of his early comics work. And it might be hard for people to come by because I don't think, obviously due to rights issues, these are not constantly kept in print with trade paperbacks. I think there were some collections, but I'm sure you can find these in dollar bins or quarter bins or what have you if you go digging for them. But Spider-Boy was a mix-up of Superboy and Spider-Man, and Superboy, this era of Superboy, his costume design is brilliant anyway, but to merge it with Spider-Man, I just thought it was, even though it's really goofy, I just loved it, and I think it's really, really cool. But a little bit more about José Ladrönn. You might know him better from his work on Hip Flask and the Elephant Man universe. And here you can see his style is quite different. It has more of a sort of European flair to it. He's painting this. I think he's working digitally on this. And also, it has that Blade Runner sci-fi tech feel. Hip Flask and the Elephant Man comic universe is brilliant. Just go read it if you haven't read it, but it's some absolutely brilliant sci-fi comics created and mostly written by Richard Starkins. Hip Flask was written by Joe Casey. Joe Casey and Jose had collaborated before. Look at that, that's absolutely beautiful. It's definitely just Blade Runner with a hippo, but I don't care, I still like it. Jose was also brought on to do the final inkle, replacing Mobius. And reading about his work on this book, I think he was doing a page a week. Look at that. That is incredible. He was working entirely digitally for this. I think he was doing 1 page a week, maybe 2 pages a week. And it was definitely worth the time. These pages are absolutely phenomenal. And without a doubt, I'll be making more videos about Jose's work. Some of his more recent stuff you may have seen is he painted some covers for the recent DC Comics Future State. But back to the 90s. So here we are with Spider-Boy Team Up. And the story, it's okay, it's pretty good. It's not the best part of this comic for me. I don't mean to be dismissive, but I absolutely love the art. This is Jose's earliest style. He's definitely, I guess, a disciple of Mobius. He'd been studying his stuff. I don't know, and it's got a lot of Jeff Darrow vibes too. And combine that beautiful style with the fact that this level of artistry is being put into such a gimmicky concept of just mashing these characters together. I absolutely loved it. And I know recently they announced that they're bringing back Heroes Reborn, but Christ, they should bring back the Amalgam Comics universe just for fun. If they're going to bring back Heroes Reborn, why not? Not only is the line work incredible, and here Jose is actually working with an inker named Juan Velasco, but the color schemes are absolutely beautiful too. I remember seeing this panel, and it reminded me a lot of the work of Ulysses Farinas, who's a cartoonist / comic artist, illustrator that I really enjoy. So yeah, the story is a sort of time travel, time paradox type yarn, and it's Superboy, or Spider-Boy, mixed up with the Amalgam Comics version of Legion of Superheroes. But it's a fun read. It's a little confusing in places, a little wordy, but when the art's this good, who cares? This is a pin-up that closes out the book, and I could just read, 25, 50 issues of a series that look this good. Jose's obviously moved on with his artistic skills and style from here on, so I'm just grateful we got this book from him. I tried to find if he'd talked much about working on this book online, and there's almost nothing. Not a ton of interviews with him out there, except this one I found. Above, he mentions that he did a little work for Marvel before this, in an anthology called Marvel Shadows and Light, issue 1. And he remembers being frustrated that some of his art got covered up with the word balloons. And all he says specifically about Spider-Boy Team-Up is that after that I did a strange comic, Spider-Boy Team-Up issue 1, an amalgam comic of Marvel and DC's characters, Spider-Man and Superboy. I recall that for the first time I was confronted with a disagreeable plot, the most disturbing thing that existed in a script that I had to draw. So, make what you will of that. I don't really know what he means. But he went on to do more work at Marvel, working on Cable. He did a long run on Cable with Joe Casey. And his style from here takes a jump from his Spider-Boy work into something that's more Mobius meets Kirby. And, again, visually, it is brilliant. I'll be digging into this in a future video. But for today, that's all I got for you. Dig up this issue if you can. Like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already. And have a great day. I'll be back with more videos on comics, even on more Amalgam Comics in the future. Thanks.